Hi, it's Rowan from PhysioFit and thank you for joining me today. This is our fifth and final video in the series for beginners, teaching you exercises and techniques to take to your beginners Pilates class. This final video is about exercises that you'll find lying down on your tummy. So it's to give you some technique for any exercise that involves lying on your front. So come on down to the mat with me and we'll get started. Okay, so come on down to your front and just slide your arms out the way. Pop your forehead on a cushion or folded towel so that you can look straight down at the floor, and just rest your hands, just slide them down so that at the sides of your rib cage and your elbows are up and off the floor in that position. I want you to reach back through one leg and really stretch out, kind of like a cat stretching, and then lay that leg back down on the floor and do the same with the other side. So you really reach through and lay your thigh back down on the mat. So that has the effect of just opening out through the front of your pelvis a little bit. Now bring your attention to 9 and 3 o'clock. I want you to notice if those 2 points are sitting on the floor or off the floor. If they're sitting on the floor, it means that your lower back is kind of sagging there towards the floor. So I want you to think of 9 and 3 o'clock. Pick them up a little bit off the floor so they're just hovering and your lower abdominals are gently working in that position. Bring your hands back into position, elbows high and pointing down and narrow towards your heels. Slide your shoulder blades away from your ears and just start with your head hovering up level with your rib cage. Okay, as you take a breath in, I want you to think about your breastbone. As you breathe in, move your breastbone out from underneath you and start to aim it along the floor towards the wall in front of you. Take a breath in, encourages that movement. As you breathe out, you can roll yourself back on down again. Now, trying to do that without any tension in the buttock muscles, so don't clench. Take a breath in, lift your breastbone up, slide your elbows away from you. Try to feel the sense that the rib cage at the front is just opening out to allow you up, and then roll back down again. I'm going to do one more of those movements. So taking a breath in, not clenching, moving the breastbone forward, getting taller, sort of lifting the roof of your mouth up through the crown of your skull, and then rolling all the way back down to the floor again. Let your forehead just rest there on the cushion and bring your hands down by your hips. So the next exercise we're going to do is a dart. I want to draw the shoulder blades back behind you. So your front of your shoulders feel like they're moving away from the floor. They want to fall forward naturally, but I really want you to draw the shoulder blades back so that the front of the shoulders move away from the floor. Let your hands float just level with your thighs. So the side of your thumb is just sitting on the side of the thigh bones there. And this time, as you take a breath in, hover your forehead and again move the breastbone out from underneath you, but reach down the sides of your thighs with your hands till you hit the lower ribs and then roll back down again. Now, the first one's a free pass, but this time I want you to make sure that you haven't clenched your buttock muscles as you do it. So breathe out, breathe in to hover the breastbone, reach through your hands, make sure that you're not clenching. So you're just working in the upper back and then roll back down again. Okay, on this last one, we're going to hold it up there a little bit. So take a breath in, breathe in, lift the breastbone, reach through the palms of the hands, and pause at the top there. See if you can just press back a little bit with your palms and release. Press and release for 5. Good. 4. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hands back in. Slide everything back down. And let your hands, shoulders, and upper back relax there. Okay. Now we're going to turn our attention to the legs for a moment. You can move your cushion out from underneath you and bring your hands underneath your forehead. Let your head just rest on your hands Now in this position, the shoulders just feel like they want to kind of fall forward towards the ears, but really make a conscious effort to draw the shoulder blades away to keep a really nice space around the sides of your neck. So your neck feels nice and long in this position. I want you to just let your forehead hover if it wants to, or you can rest it down on the floor if you don't like that position, but make your neck feel comfortable so the back of the neck feels nice and open. I quite like to hover mine, but you can have yours down if you want to. Now, bring your attention to 9 and 3 o'clock. Make sure there's a small hover of those two bones up and off the floor so you can feel a good connection into the floor through your pubic bone. That's your sticking point there. You really need to stay heavy on that point. I want you to reach your right leg away from you and really keep reaching it away until you feel the thigh bone and the thigh muscles start to peel up and off the floor. And then lower it back down again. It doesn't have to go very high at all. You're really just imagining that there's a kind of piece of paper under your thigh and somebody just needs to pull it out. So you just want to relieve the pressure on the skin at the front of your thigh and then lower it back down again. Now make sure that your pelvis isn't tipping forward as you do that. And make sure there's a little hover of 9 and 3 o'clock. Stay heavy in the pubic bone. So this is another exercise in opening and moving the hip joint without the pelvis or lower back changing position. I'm going to do one more on each side. I'm breathing out to reach and breathing in to release. Last time, breathing out to reach and breathing in to release, and then let everything relax back down. Okay, bring your hands underneath you. You can push back up and bring your knees underneath. And I think once you've been on your front for a period of time and working the back muscles, it's really nice to just stretch out the opposite way. So drop back into child pose and take a couple of breaths in there. You'll feel a little bit of stiffness where you've been working those muscles. That's okay. Just stretch out there for a moment. I like to kind of rock my rib cage side to side a little bit when I'm doing that. And then you can slide your hands in towards you and roll on up and into sitting. Okay, so I hope that you found that exercise, those movement patterns helpful and the techniques that I've taught you today, and that I'll see you again soon.